Trump's gearing up to send ICE to Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance. Because in case you missed it, the NFL and Apple Music, they announced that Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime headliner this year. And that's not like the most surprising news. He's one of the biggest artists in the world. But still, because everything is stupid, that sparked a controversy. Because even though Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico, which is an American territory, many on the right believe that this was an un-American choice. Or with some outrage that his music is primarily in Spanish, not English. You had people like Megyn Kelly even calling this election an active middle finger to the right. And then others posting things like Roger Goodell and the NFL just decided to make the Super Bowl political. This is not a pick designed to unite football fans or let people just enjoy the show. It was a pick designed to divide fans, and no doubt Bad Bunny will find some way to push a woke message. Does this guy really scream American football to anyone? Right, and then with all that, you had people pointing to Bad Bunny actually opting to not do any shows in the 50 states for his recent tour because he has a huge Latino fan base and he was concerned about ICE. Or with him explaining there were many reasons why I didn't show up in the US, and none of them were out of hate. But there was the issue of, like, fucking ICE could be outside my concert. And well, now it's not just randoms and commentators online. This has reached the Trump administration, right? Because you had Corey Lewandowski, a senior advisor in the Department of Homeland Security, going on a podcast and getting asked if there would be ICE enforcement at the Super Bowl. And there he said,
there is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you. We will apprehend you. We will put you in a detention facility and we will deport you. So know that that is a very real situation under this administration. It's so shameful that they've decided to pick somebody who just seems to hate America so much to represent them at the halftime game.
And so that clip, it's taken off, and you had ICE backing up those comments to TMZ, confirming that ICE presence will be at the event. And that ended up sparking its own wave of responses, with some thinking that it's ridiculous to threaten an ICE raid over a Puerto Rican and therefore American artist. Right? Some saying this just proves Bad Bunny's point about not touring here. But there's also, as some have said, this feels like a pretty empty threat. Right? Arguing that the crowds attending the Super Bowl and those attending a regular Bad Bunny concert, they're just not the same group. And so people saying it's less likely that fans would be putting themselves at risk or be in risk in the same way with his own world tour. Though also, the fact that this even turned into a big controversy at all, for many it proves why it's such a big deal that Bad Bunny is doing the halftime show.
Bad Bunny is performing at the biggest stage on the biggest night in the United States when Latinos are being scapegoated, persecuted, and being talked about like we don't belong here. Bad Bunny champions his island, okay? He's constantly wearing his culture on his sleeve. It's representation. It's defiance. It is joy in the face of people who try to shrink us.
Yeah, let's talk about the rumors of ICE being at the Super Bowl or Trump canceling the Super Bowl. I doubt that. But if he does send ICE out there, that's pretty wild. One, it's an American citizen from Puerto Rico that's performing. Will illegals go to the Super Bowl? It won't be that many. The Super Bowl ticket prices is ridiculous. I myself tried to go to the Super Bowl last year, and they were talking like $8,000 a ticket, $6,000 like the minimum. So not too many people is going to be paying that. And then if they are, I doubt they're going to like pay it just to see Bad Bunny. That's not. You can pay a lot less money to go to Puerto Rico or wherever he was holding his residency to see Bad Bunny, but it's pretty crazy. You don't need to do that. One, don't need to go see a 12 to 15 minute show for $8,000. If you really like Bad Bunny, he'd be performing somewhere you could go on a vacation and check him out, whether risk, Trump and his retaliation to the NFL, who's clearly trolling him. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Is ICE going to be out there? Is Trump going to shut the Super Bowl down? LA the King.
ICE patrolling the Super Bowl. What a great idea. Congrats to the NFL for the solidarity and supporting ICE. And Donald Trump, again, he constantly keeps winning at ruining our country.
I just got to know, what did Latino people do to Donald Trump? What is the beef with Latino Americans here in the United States? Like, all he does is bully these folks. This son of a gun is so daggone evil, he gonna deploy ICE agents to the Super Bowl on purpose because Bad Bunny is performing. Like, what? Who pissed in his cereal? Like, bro, it's the Super Bowl, bro. Just let people have fun. And the people who are more than likely illegal in the country, their last thing that they're worried about is a damn Super Bowl show. You done scared these folks off, Donald Trump. You done successfully did it. I don't know why you sit there and say make America great again when it really is make America white again. We know it's true. We know that's what you want. So that's the difference between up north racism and down south racism. They'll call you a nigga to your face, but up north, they'll hide behind the racism. Donald Trump is a true racist.
Yeah, let's talk about the rumors of ICE being at the Super Bowl or Trump canceling the Super Bowl. I doubt that. But if he does send ICE out there, that's pretty wild. One, it's an American citizen from Puerto Rico that's performing. Will illegals go to the Super Bowl? It won't be that many. The Super Bowl ticket prices is ridiculous. I myself tried to go to the Super Bowl last year, and they were talking like $8,000 a ticket, $6,000 like the minimum. So not too many people is going to be paying that. And then if they are, I doubt they're going to like pay just to see Bad Bunny. That's not. You can pay a lot less money to go to Puerto Rico or wherever he was holding his residency to see Bad Bunny, but it's pretty crazy. You don't need to do that. One, don't need to go see a 12 to 15 minute show for $8,000. If you really like Bad Bunny, he'd be performing somewhere you could go on a vacation and check him out, whether risk, Trump and his retaliation to the NFL, who's clearly trolling him. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Is ICE going to be out there? Is Trump going to shut the Super Bowl down? LA the King.
But on a serious, non-AI generated soundbite note, that was pretty funny, gotta admit. Yeah, Donald Trump is pretty much doesn't believe that Bad Bunny is American, and a lot of MAGA people think that Puerto Rico is not part of America. It is. And Donald Trump has turned the United States into a laughingstock. America has become the Gollum of the world. That's the truth. We are an embarrassment to ourselves. And now Trump is saying that he will deploy ICE at the Super Bowl, which, should ICE start snatching up brown people, black people, who are trying to use their pew-pews at the Super Bowl, I would wager that real Americans would, let's see how to say this where I keep within guidelines, use their fisticuffs to hand the ICE agents their gluteus maximuses on a platter. In fact, they'd probably be on the ground looking up at the real Americans who would deal with them should they start snatching people at the Super Bowl. And if Trump thinks he's going to go snatch Bad Bunny, wouldn't that be a brilliant idea on his part? Yet another brilliant idea to embarrass America. Note that Puerto Rico is part of America and that Bad Bunny is an American citizen, having been born in Puerto Rico. And if we start letting American citizens being snatched off the street by these, what can I call them where I won't get banned? You think twat waffle is strong enough? No, it's really not. These less than human animals. Yeah, we are in full 1984. Full Animal Farm. It's as if 1984 and Animal Farm had a baby, isn't it? It came out looking like Donald Trump. I would advise Donald Trump against coming to the Super Bowl with ICE, thinking that that's a wise idea. Take a note from the generals. with their stoic faces just glaring at him and Pete Keg's breath. Imagine dictating to actual warriors, battle-hardened warriors, who've been serving their country for decades, being lectured by a drunk guy who's accused repeatedly of essaying people, whose wife, I think he calls her mommy, follows him around everywhere so he doesn't do anything bad, and a big fat orange painted marshmallow in diapers, also accused of essaying multiple women, and who was a draft dodger too. Imagine these two lecturing these battle-hardened warriors. Oh, that's right, we don't need to, because they did exactly that. And you saw the faces of the generals, and no, the generals are not going to deploy the military in American cities against Americans, because that's against the Constitution. You know that thing that the military, all of them, swear an oath to? Yeah, they're not doing that. And Bad Bunny is going to do the Super Bowl. And Puerto Rico is part of the United States. And Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are clowns. Yes, they are. Let's see how this works for them, shall we? Shall we?
Bad Bunny as the Super Bowl halftime performer, somebody who has not scheduled shows in the U.S. because he says that he's worried that ICE is going to come and arrest his fans.
Well, look, I know there are many in this room who are very anxious to hear the president's response to Bad Bunny being the halftime show, so I won't get ahead of him. I won't reveal what he feels about this. Next time you all ask him a question, you're welcome to do that. I have my own feelings on that, but that's not what I'm up here to talk about.
So one of President Trump's advisors is suggesting that ICE could be at the Super Bowl. As we know, the Super Bowl is happening here in the Bay Area in Santa Clara. The advisor's name is Corey Lewandowski. He said this on the Benny Show. Benny is a conservative commentator. Benny asks, quote, will ICE have enforcement at the Super Bowl for the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show? Corey says, quote, Benny, there is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you. We will apprehend you. We will put you in a detention facility and we will deport you. Corey also starts talking about Bad Bunny at one point, saying, quote, it's so shameful that they've decided to pick somebody who just seems to hate America so much to represent them at the halftime game. A couple of things with this. We don't know who is going to be attending the Super Bowl. I do know that when I've looked online, tickets are upwards of $7,000. Second thing, Bad Bunny is one of the, if not the biggest artists globally. His numbers prove it. And there are a lot of people who are excited to see him perform at the halftime show. That includes people here in the Bay Area. And I'm saying that because I've seen it on TikTok, I've seen it on my social media. I've also talked to people, I've interviewed people who are very much looking forward to it. They feel like this is a historic moment.
We need help desperately. This is my plea to anyone watching around the world. Those of us here in the US are terrified of what's to come next. When we see what Trump is doing in LA, allowing ICE to occupy LA for the next 30 days is unconscionable. I know there are people all over the world that do not want to see this administration do what it's doing. We're getting desperate at this point. People in Germany are reaching out to us to tell us that we are reminding them of them 80 years ago. And for the people who voted for this here in the US, I don't know what you could possibly say for yourself at this point.